Oh, so you want to make over $10,000 in 7 days? Let me tell you, my friend, because this is what I did. Okay? After making tons of mistakes en route to growing my agency to over $200,000 per month in recurring revenue with 35 employees, allowing me to travel around the world with my wife and my kids over the last 5 years, I want to impart on you something that I learned. And what I learned is going to enable you, if you shall will, to make an extra $10,000 in the next 7 days. Okay. That is my promise to you if you watch this video. Okay. I remember for the longest time in my agency, I was scared. I was scared to call up my clients and basically just ask them how they're doing. Like, hey, Rich, how are you doing? You've been with us for the past 3 months. Are you happy? I was so afraid of rocking the boat. I was so afraid of basically being told, Hamza, I'm glad you called me because you know what? This service is shit, man. That's what I was afraid of hearing. And because I was afraid of hearing that, I didn't call Rich or Walt or John. I had all these roofing contractor clients that I closed that were great clients, that were great people, but I just didn't call them. And naturally over time, I think they just churned because they didn't really feel like they were important. How could I blame them? They weren't really important. Well, that's not entirely true. They were important to me because they were making me money, but at the same time, they weren't really important in the sense that I cared enough to give them a call. So a big part of what I'm going to share in this video is being client focused. That's not what you were expecting. You were expecting something a little bit different, maybe, but enthuse me for a second over here because frankly, I think this is probably the most underrated thing ever. I'm making a very big assumption that just like you, excuse me, just like me, you have clients, okay? I have clients that are paying me, that have been with me for years, and heck, even if they haven't been with you for years, this still applies because there's money being left on the table. And I only realized that after I had a situation in my business where I needed to make money. I needed to make money pretty quickly because our expenses were stacking up and we are bringing on new overhead. And I just wanted to make sure that our revenue, at least for the next month, was sufficient to cover some of the new overhead we were bringing in. Because as an entrepreneur, I don't want to be in the red ever. Okay, if I'm ever in the red, that's a very, very bad sign. And for another video, for another time, I'll elaborate on how I tolerated some months where we were losing $40,000, $50,000. It was crazy time. But nonetheless, what I'm trying to say over here is that it's a very real situation that we may want to make some extra money. So whatever your reason is for watching this video right now, it doesn't really matter. This applies. So this only became clear to me on how I could make a lot of money really quickly after I had a client that, sure enough, I called, and sure enough, they weren't happy because it's the first time I called them in like 7 months. And basically, I realized after him sharing that, man, he really has a specific need, a specific problem. His whole thing was that, look, he was actually happy with the service. We were getting good leads, we were getting good jobs, but frankly, he wanted to be able to scale things up and he thought that he could do it himself. Now, back then, I had a knee jerk reaction and I said, no, 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 no. Like, you won't be able to do this yourself, and this is a tough thing. And I'm this marketer that spent the last 5 years doing this, and you should pay me to do it. And why would you ever want to do this yourself? I mean, he was a roofing contractor, so I hit him and I said, well, yeah, would you ever, what would you say to me if I got up onto a roof and I wanted to replace my own roof? And, I'd probably fall off and break my leg, and then you'd laugh at me and say, hey, you should have just had me do it in the first place. And I was trying to use this analogy to help him see that he just wasn't in a good space to do marketing. But frankly, it is my ego. It is my own self getting in my own way. And basically, I was insecure. I was insecure of creating competition for myself. I was insecure that, hey, if this guy who is my client could do it himself, what does that mean about me? That means I'm crap. That means I'm shit. That means I don't actually know what I'm talking about. That means I don't deserve to be calling myself a marketing expert. So there's a lot of layers of self doubt and really self discovery that are available to us as entrepreneurs if we were to choose to see them in the business. And frankly, back then I wasn't. And that's why I lost out on probably hundreds of thousands of dollars. But luckily, with this client, what I decided to do was take a deep breath, be a bit humble, and just dig in a little bit more and realize, okay, this dude has a genuine need. He actually wants to bring his marketing in house. He actually is willing to put in the time and the effort to do this. So, you know what? Let me sell him something. Let me sell him something that I've never sold to anyone before, which was actually learning how to do it himself. And I would hold his hand step by step and teach him basically everything that we do in his account. I would peel back the entire curtain on the psychology, on the tactics, on the strategies that we were helping him get success in ads with. And I realized that in the process of doing this, not only did we charge him an extra $10,000, but over the span of about 45 to 60 days, you know what happened? This client came to us and said, dude, I didn't realize you guys are doing all this on the back end. Frankly, I was probably a little bit ungrateful for all that you do, and I don't actually think that I want to implement this myself. I'm cool with you guys just continue to do it. Not only did we make an extra $10,000 off this client, but we also retained him on the done for you service. Not just for like our extra month to month that we were charging him, I don't know, it was like $4,000 or whatever, including ad spend, but we actually gained a client for longer because now he basically paid to learn how valuable we are and now will retain with us for longer. So, what's the crux of this story? Is actually getting on the phone and speaking with clients and seeing what they need. Freaking camera died there for a second. I had to free up space, but I'm back. Okay, I was in this like mode of just passion, and so I'm gonna get back into it. Look, even to this day, there are times where I'm afraid of getting on the phone with my clients because I still have that fear, right? I mean, I'm that same mom's basement marketer that began closing deals in my bedroom, and the first card that I transacted for $1,500, he had no idea. He had no idea that I was just a freaking phony at that time, and I was faking it until I made it. And even now that I've made it, I still feel that way inside. And so this video is for you if you also feel that way inside, deep, deep inside, that you want to avoid your clients and that you don't really want to talk to them. But here's what I'd say. Here's what I'd say to myself back then is that get on the phone. Okay, the only way in life that we grow and that we prosper and that we make breakthroughs as entrepreneurs is by stepping into the fire. It's not by leaning away from it, it's by leaning into it. And as much as that heat may be uncomfortable, and heck, maybe it does result in a client that was already, on thin ice, that was already on the edge, it gives them the opportunity to just basically let loose and say, hey, yeah, now that I have you on the phone, I actually want to let you know that I'm not happy. Even if that is the case, how can you learn that? How can you use that to learn how to handle yourself better as an entrepreneur? How to basically use it as an opportunity to further your ability to overcome difficult situations? Because really, it's all negotiation at the end of the day. Okay, the sales process isn't just closing them and it's done. It's about continually reminding them and selling them on the idea of working with you. And frankly, the clients that I've lost, even though a lot of them, they were getting great results, I lost them because I was content. I was content and I wasn't continuing to sell them. I wasn't continuing to invest time in them. I wasn't continuing to let them know that I care about them beyond the sale. So I got what I deserve. And frankly, if you're watching this right now and you're avoiding talking to your clients, then I'll say it straight up. If they leave, you get what you deserve. Product and client focus delivery isn't everything. It's actually about relationship building too. You see, it's once I learned this that the floodgates of profit really open. Not just $10,000 in 7 days. I'm talking about like an extra 70, another $80,000 added on within a matter of months because relationships are everything. People buy from people. No one cares about my digital marketing agency's name or the brand or the colors or the buttons or the people that work on the team and all this revenue. No one cares. People care about me. Who are they transacting with? They want to work with Hamza. And if they're buying from you, that's exactly what they're doing. They're buying from you. They're not buying the brand or the YouTube channel or whatever they see online. They're buying you. And in some way, I think all of us, we want to be a little bit closer to someone or something that we believe can help us out. And so if you're running away, I'll say, from your clients, from speaking to them, from letting them know that they matter, then look within yourself and see how unimportant maybe you feel. And it's because you feel unimportant that you're projecting onto your clients that maybe they think you're unimportant as well. But guess what? You know what the fastest way to feel more important is? Is by making other people feel important, is by making other people feel heard, is by making other people feel like they are wanted and they mean something. Even just a phone call, or heck, even just starting off with a text that, hey, Mr. Whoever, I hope you know how grateful I am for having you in my life, for that the fact that you're entrusting your hard-earned money with my business, and I just want to renew the faith that you've put in me, and I just want to say that I do really care, and we're thinking about your accounts, and we're taking care of this, especially during times when things aren't going well. Being the first one to show up to a client and say, hey, you know what, performance hasn't been great lately. We get it, we've seen it, we're on top of it, and here's this, this, and this that we're doing right now. And guess what? It pains us to see this is happening, and I hope that you're okay. And if you ever want to talk about anything, I'm on the line. I'll be there. I'll pick up the phone. Dude, that's what freaking business is about. And I lament over the fact that it took me so long to realize that it's all about relationships. That's how you make the extra money. In fact, if you really want to look at the title of this video, it should be how to leverage your existing relationships to make that extra $10,000. Because guaranteed in your network, in your client list, in your phone contact list right now, there's someone that'd be willing to buy, but it's because you are afraid of being seen. I'm talking to myself right now. It's because you are afraid to be seen, that you're afraid of being found out for being a phony. You're afraid of being exposed, that you're just going to sit back and then you're going to bitch and complain and basically look at like shiny objects and AI and crypto and all this crap that doesn't actually matter in the grand scheme of growing a core product, a core business. Get on the phone. Talk to a real human. Give them some connection and love and significance, and watch the doors of possibility open, whether that's upselling them on something, whether that's introducing them to someone else that could be an affiliate payout for you, whether that's creating a whole brand new product because you actually opened up your ears and got to listen to a client and his real or her real challenges. It's interesting that a school bus just passed by because I feel like I'm taking myself back to school here with these videos. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you in the comment section. Peace.